Hello everyone, Monkey Thief 86 here, and welcome to episode 6 of Sky Factory. And man oh man, has it taken ages to get enough iron to do the next set of the project. So I've had about an hour, 2 hours of sifting and breaking to get enough iron. I had to expand the mob farm, as you can see. It's now a 3 wide thing here, and we've had a fair amount of drops in that time. Most importantly, 9 ender pearls, which I will take one of now, and some inferium, which will be useful for our farm. So I'll just drop this to the bottom so I can find it easily. An awful lot of loot bags, which are taking up an awful lot of space. We'll do something with those fairly soon, but for now I want to get started on automating our metals. So I've done a couple of things downstairs, which we'll show you before we get into the crafting stage of things. So I've made another lava generator, and then 4 magmatic generators to produce an awful lot of power. So each of these produces 40 RF per tick. A sag mill takes 20, to put it into perspective, so one of these can run 2 of the other machines. So with 4 of them, we're looking at some very serious machinery about to be produced. One thing I did do off camera was make the first auto sieve simply to save myself some of the clicking. As you can see, that ticking along nicely. Did have some gravel in there just to try and get some more iron, as that's basically what I've been short of this entire time. So let's get on to the crafting stage of things. First I want to make a couple of sag mills. I could have done this off camera, but wanted to talk through the process of this as well. So what we're going to be doing is making a set of machines that will just take the cobblestone, render it down into gravel, and then that can be rendered down into the sand, and then that can be rendered from down into dust, and all the excess parts of it will then also be sifted automatically for us. So the sag mills will take the cobblestone down to gravel and to sand, but they won't take it to dust. If you put sand in a sag mill, you get silicon instead. Useful, but not what we want at all. So what we need for that is actually a hammer. So the auto hammer will do what we need for us in that respect. Also has a much larger inventory than the sag mill, but it takes longer. You can put extra hammers into it, which will speed it up, but obviously takes more diamonds, something we don't necessarily have at this stage. I think I've got like 5 left. I'm also going to need to make some sieves. I've got 1 already, so we'll pick this one up carefully. Don't want it flying off the edge because that's an awful lot of iron. There's like 20 iron in each of those. Let's just put that away now. We'll grab the meshes out when we're done. So we need to make some more auto sieves, which is going to require 3 sieves, which we don't have the resources for. Thought I'd been all prepared and got everything I needed, but apparently not. So about a stack worth of planks there. Go. So 3 sieves, we're going to need 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So there's our auto sieves. So remember, each of these taking 20 RF per tick. And then the other thing we're going to want is something to compress the results down. We'll be going to use an auto compressor. This only takes 5 RF, so we'll have a bit of a surplus, but not much from the engine, from the generators downstairs. So let's go and get that laid out, and then we're going to get into how. Actually, no. Let's show you how we're going to get these powered now, because it will take time. So we want to go into an alloys only mode of the alloy smelter. So it takes different things in here. So in this case, redstone and iron will give us a red alloy, which is then used in conduits to take power from one place to another, and that's the lowest tier of the end of IO power transfer methods. So conductive iron, which can be used in a few different things, but these are what we're going to be using it for. So got myself the conduit binder, did that earlier because that does take quite a bit of processing. So clay, gravel, sand into binder composite, and then that into the conduit binder itself. We'll need one more of these, and then the ender pearl will go in with the iron to make pulsating iron, and that's used to make the item transfer pipes, but you only need the nuggets of these, so one piece will be sufficient to get going, or should be. We can always make more, we've got a few more pieces. Oh, and I very nearly forgot, we're actually going to need another cobblestone generator, because one will not be sufficient to both make the lava production and the cobblestone for this. In fact, I mean, one basic tier probably isn't going to keep up, so we're going to want to upgrade this to the second tier at the very least, which will now hold 64 blocks and produces it, as it says there, every 20 ticks. Put the buckets away. We're going to need more iron for other things, but that will suffice for now. Let's see whether the pulsating iron's done. Looks like it. Yes. I'm going to want. Going to need more. Probably going to need more of the energy conduit. Definitely. Getting close, otherwise. Yeah, let's go ahead and cook up another batch. Yeah, because it needs to go across a second tier. So we can go and place everything down, and we'll come up and get the last part of that. So the sag mills, I'm going to want to be able to get behind these things, so let's put them here. Move that torch out of the way for the second. Place the cobblestone generator here. Auto hammer here. And then we want 4 sieves here. Now, why do we need 4 sieves when there's only 3 things, I hear you asking? Because we're going to want to have different sieve meshes for different results. So we're going to want iron, at least iron tier, I should say, for 3 of them, which would mean we wouldn't get access to copper aluminium or silver, and that's something we do still need. So what we want to do in that instance is make a flint mesh for gravel and diamond mesh for gravel. Reason being, let's just take a stack of string for now, that we don't really care about the lower levels of dust or sand products. Gravel products are still relevant at that point, but we want the diamond specifically because it gets us emerald for the gravel. So we're going to need one more iron stiffened mesh, just enough iron. Cool. So let's go and place those down. I've just realised I'm going to need something I don't have currently in the wrench format, as I don't think I can do what needs to be done with these. Oh, I can. Excellent. Well, that's good. That's going to save a lot of time material wise. Right, I'll go over how all these work in a second. Need 4 more power pipes to power the sieves, and then we should be good. And I'll also pick up this important object. So drawer keys from the storage drawers mod, and they can lock or unlock drawers. So a locked drawer will not let anything into it unless it's told what it should be accepting, which is absolutely fantastic. Right, so we need to need 2 more pieces of this as well. That's okay. It's okay for now. Let's just do that. We've got the requisite stuff. Let's not like I'm not going to use this elsewhere. So item conduits from Ender.io are the best pipes ever. Right. So what we want to do now is have these machines taking things out and putting things in the right places and in the right orders. That's the important part here. So we want this, which is going to be cobblestone, to be extract on black, and we want that to be active all the time. This sag mill is going to be inserting on black and extracting on green. All the extracting is going to be on green because there's different products that are in there. So extract always active. We want to manually specify where these can go to begin with. So gravel is going to go in there, sand is going to go in there. So we can now tell this you should be inserting on green, and extracting we're going to want to be grey, because gravel goes in and out. On this one, we want to insert on grey, extract on green, always active. So once gravel starts making its way into here, helps make that always active, it will start to go into this one and make sand and flint. Flint currently has nowhere to go. We need to tell that we want it in here, and that will need to be insert on green. We're not going to be extracting the flint at this stage, so all the spare flint will go into there. Now sand, currently we don't have that set to the right place, so we need that to be insert on green, and we want that to be extract on light grey, always active. And then we want our hammer to be insert on light grey, extract on green, always active. So now that will be broken down into dust, which we can place there. So now we've got something that's generating all of our parts. We now need to tell it to go into the sieves. And then we're going to need to make the products of the sieves go somewhere, but that will be a slightly slower process. So for now, we just want to insert on grey, insert on light grey, so we won't activate the extract modes on these yet. We want this to be insert on light grey. Is that the right way around? No, we want it to be insert on green, extract on white, always active. And then we want this guy to be, I've muddled that up, that's why. That should be, those two need to be grey, so gravel ends up in there. There we go. This needs to be insert on light grey. This one insert on white. It doesn't really matter which way around those two are, but we want the dust going in there, sand going in there, gravel going in there, and gravel going in there, which it should do when it gets a chance, just because it's a bit blocked up with dust. Okay, and then we can put power pipes there as well. Okay, so these will then start to sift and create our things. Oh, nice, already got an emerald. Fantastic. So the compressor is going to be the default route for everything, but we don't want it to be where most things go. What we want is for these pipes to receive things. Now, because they're locked, they will only receive what we tell them to receive, which means we can set which things go into those. So lapis and coal, emeralds, yellorium dust, glowstone, redstone. Yeah, I think that's good for now. I say there'll be diamonds, there'll be prosperity shards, there'll be a few other bits and pieces that will come out, cocoa beans being one of them. So as those sift through and find, we can add those, but for now we can have it go to the auto compressor as well. So what we want to do is set the priority on this to be higher. So if we set it to 3, when we change this to insert at priority 0, this is the last place for things to go. Gravel should not be going there. Why is gravel going there? Oh, I see. Let's change the priority -1. So then these are still more priority. So -3 priority there. And let's change the extract to blue, always active. And then we want this to be insert on blue. So all of the products from there will wind up in the small storage crate. Anything that can't go into there will be put into the auto compressor, whether it should be or not. It's not the best thing, but it's at least something to start with. And we'll just have to manually move anything we don't want in there into one of these. So diamonds, for example, will go in there. So that's a good start to automating all that. Now we need to think about getting the metals from here, which should be moving down. Why are you... Oh yeah, didn't turn the extracts on. There we go. They should now be finding their way to blaze powder. Yeah, that's another thing that doesn't need to be compressed. There we go. And we're starting to get our metals. So that then just needs to be smelted down, which will be, coincidentally, the next thing we do. So we're going to want to get these smelteries for all that, and we can start feeding these things into it. We'll also want to remove these drawers at some point and have it just go upstairs to our existing drawer system, simply because there's no use in having the resources down here, but having them here for now makes it easier to separate things out. So I've just looked at the recording time on this. This has gone on very long, so we'll wrap up here. I will start working on getting the smeltery equipment together, or maybe a different furnace type, I don't know. We'll work out how we're going to turn this into metals and get all that prepared. I'll also clean up the mob spawners chest, as otherwise that will be full the next time, and that's no good. What I do want to open one of the loot bags on video, so let's just go over there quickly. We'll just get one of the rare ones. Rare loot bag. And these can be upgraded, so rare's not necessarily the best. And we get a void crystal hoe that we have absolutely no use for. That is going to probably sum up my bag opening skills in this. So I'll work out which ones I actually want to open out of these, what tier, and just compress them down for that. So it's Monkey Thief 86 signing out. Thank you for watching.